I just found out the bride talked crap behind my back the entire wedding day, even after I paid and planned for everything. Posted by you/schmicktheegg. I was asked to be the maid of honor by a friend of mine with whom I've had a rocky past. She doesn't really have anyone close in her life that lasts longer than a few years, and she also changes jobs every few months because she is high conflict and constantly causes drama. She thrives on it. In hindsight, I should have said no, especially knowing this was her and the groom's third engagement, so off and on. But I agreed and took everything seriously. Bridezilla was an understatement. She changed the members of the bridal party 5 times, so I constantly had to track down new people. Her bridal shower had to be at one very specific, and very expensive, country club. She changed the date of the actual wedding and forgot to tell me for months, and it was on a Friday, so I had to request time off work. Nothing I bought was good enough, and she always requested more. She even changed my dress color after I had already bought it. She also stopped talking to me unless it was about the wedding and had no idea what was going on in my personal life. I paid for just about everything because the people she kept inviting to the bridal party were younger than us, early 20s, I'm 27, and the bride is 33, and had no stable income. I have a good job and am smart with my money, but even for me, it was really difficult. I'm talking about $6,000 on this damn wedding as the maid of honor, and I'm trying to plan my own soon too. Well, the day of the wedding comes, and I make sure she has a bunch of custom gifts, a day of bag, and my speech was beautiful, etc. But she was so rude to me the entire day. She had a new BFF she met about 4 months before the wedding, and they were attached at the hip. She only wanted to talk to her. But whatever, I was super busy handling everything, so I tried to ignore it. The wedding comes and goes. She leaves to go to the after party with her new BFF, and I stay behind to clean up the entire venue with the help of my boyfriend. Then we go home. Well, I get a call today from her cousin, who was also in the wedding party and whom I really bonded with over this awful experience. She told me that she didn't want to say anything before, but she thinks I deserve to know, especially since I'm already buying Christmas gifts for the bride and her kids. Her cousin told me that every time I left the bridal suite on the day of the wedding, the bride would announce to everyone in the room that she couldn't stand me. I wish she weren't even here, and I'm so effing annoying. She also has a separate group chat with her sisters and cousins where she continues to talk crap about me. Mind you, she just sent me a Christmas list for her kids last week, and everything is already bought and wrapped. I feel so hurt, so used, and honestly, really stupid. I just blocked her on everything. I don't even want to message her because I know she'll somehow twist it around and make it my fault. Edit. I'm seeing a lot of comments saying this is on me for missing/ignoring red flags, and I 100% agree. I should have gone more into the backstory, but it's super complicated and long, so I left it out. I used to be the stepmother of her oldest son, meaning her ex is also my ex, and he's a huge piece of crap, but that's a story for another day. I'm extremely bonded to the kiddo. I've been in his life since he was 9 months old. She has allowed me to stay involved in his life for the past 4+ years, even after I left the relationship. He's 7 now. A huge part of me feels an immense, incredible debt to her, and I will always appreciate her for keeping me in her son's life. She didn't have to do that. However, as my friend, kids aside, she is incredibly selfish and toxic, and I should have set better boundaries and kept my guard up. But wow, that's easier said than done when kids are involved. Edit 2. I also meant that I spent $6,000 on the bridal shower, bachelorette party, gifts, etc. I did not pay for the actual wedding venue itself, but I still spent $6,000 of my own money on wedding-related things. Commenter. Here's the thing with a kid, he's growing up hearing his mom speak badly about Up. There's a risk of him growing up thinking it's okay to treat people that way. If he sees Up walk away, it will show him that he doesn't have to tolerate being treated like that and that others won't tolerate him acting that way either. He might miss out on having Up in his life as a good influence, but I don't think his mom would really allow that anyway. I think she's going to drop Up as soon as she stops giving. Edit 3. I appreciate everyone's advice. I was more or less venting in this post. I know I'm not blameless in this and definitely let it drag on too long because I was/am scared that once I upset Bridezilla, I'll lose access to being a part of her children's lives. However, I agree that it's not healthy for me to continue being in contact with her, and her children are better off not seeing me being used as a doormat by their mother. I blocked her number and do not plan on interacting with her ever again. It's time to move on and focus on my own healing for once. Update 2 months later. Hi everyone. This post definitely blew up more than I was expecting, so I wanted to give a quick update. After this happened, a few things that some of you said to me really stuck with me. I was looking at all of this from the perspective of not wanting to lose access to the bride's children, whom I love deeply, but I didn't realize that by allowing their mother to treat me poorly, I was modeling for the kids how to treat their own loved ones. That was really a light bulb moment for me, and I realized I needed to cut ties. I initially told her that I needed space from her because of the way she has treated me as a friend. She did not take it well, and I had to block her number and delete her from social media to stop her from berating me with texts. Once I did that, it was insane how much better I felt. I truly didn't realize how much time and energy she was draining from me every single day. I felt like a literal weight was lifted from my chest, and I was no longer filled with anxiety about whatever drama she'd constantly call or text me about. I had no idea how much she had slowly taken from me over the course of our friendship. It was like being free of an emotional vampire. However, despite feeling so much better, I still felt that I needed closure regarding the kids, whom I do love and miss. I needed to know in my heart that I did everything I could to ensure they knew none of this was their fault. I decided to drop off the presents I had already bought at their front doorstep and left a note letting her know that I was informed she had spoken poorly about me in front of her children on her wedding day, and that I simply cannot accept that disrespect anymore. It was very short and sweet, and I didn't go into much more detail than that. I also told her I had no interest in rekindling any type of friendship, that this was my closure, and that I do not want her to contact me further. Apparently, she immediately took to social media and began making dozens of posts and TikTok videos denying everything, as well as involving the kids in the videos, so sad, trash-talking me, and calling me a narcissist, which is laughable. Honestly, it's her go-to insult for anyone who wrongs her. I had friends send me a few in disbelief, and while I appreciated being informed, I asked them not to send me any more because I don't really care, and I don't want to give her the satisfaction of knowing I saw any of them. Honestly, I just feel so bad for the kids, and I feel nothing but pity for their mother. How sad to be 33 years old and, instead of spending time on Christmas morning with your children, you're making TikTok videos to try to upset me, and failing at it, at that. Anyway, that's my update. I'm glad to finally put all of this behind me. I really feel like I've closed the chapter on such a chaotic and drama-filled portion of my life. If any of you are dealing with a person like this in your lives, get out. Life is so much better without them dragging you down, I promise you. Commenter. I don't think Op handled this well at all, especially with the presents. She didn't do right by the kids or let them know it isn't their fault. The ex-friend 100% just rewrapped those packages and claimed they were from her, saying that Op doesn't love the kids. The commenter who said that walking out of the bride's life would show her son that he doesn't have to accept being treated that way was misguided at best. From that kid's point of view, mom always trash talks her, but she's always nice when she's around. By leaving, she is confirming that mom was correct, she's a bad person. I will say, obviously, Op does not sound like a bad person, just that she was in a no-win situation. She wasn't going to get out of that situation without the bride making her the bad guy. I understand the pain and guilt that come with that, but it was either get out and have the bride turn the kids against her, or stay and destroy her own mental health and finances while the bride more slowly turns the kids against her.